Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How was the potluck last week?
Missed it.
I missed it. So today we're talking about the Earth is one thing that we all have in common. Do you know the one invention that is required for a species to become a civilization? One very basic thing. What is the ingredient for that? What is the invention you? Yeah, water and earth and all of this mix is agriculture. Agriculture is something that was invented 12,000 years ago. All the humans have been around 200,000 years ago. Agriculture was invented 12,000 years ago. That meant all the civilizations you have heard of in history started after that because it allows the population to grow in fast manner. So one of the books is by Yuval Noah Harari, his *Sapiens*, which talks about this invention very critically. He says that before agriculture, we were hunter-gatherers. We used to hunt for food or forage for food. So we used to collect from plants or we used to hunt wild animals to get it. That meant we already had a schedule for a day. We had a purpose in every day of your life to survive. And that gave us a lot of happiness because we also became social animals because of that. We needed to be able to collaborate in order to find out information, in order to gather knowledge and pass on knowledge everything. These things animals don't do. Their DNA doesn't want them. They don't pass on knowledge using the ways that humans do. And humans train us a lot. Humans tell stories. And stories are the way that we made a lot of enemies. Like making nature enemy is a human invention. Nature is in itself neither good nor bad. It doesn't do anything for you. But humans found out species that they wanted to eliminate from the food chain and they succeeded to do it in a lot of cases. But even if you forget about what we have been doing to animals, plants, and the ocean itself, the most we have done is humans threatened humans a lot in conscious manner. So if you see the Asian continents that we have today, 7 continents, out of them except Antarctica, 6 of them inhabit humans. And if you see the population description in there, you will see Russia is wider than it is longer from north south and east west. It's more long and wide as compared to its height in the north south direction. Asia is like that, Europe is like that. Africa is not like that, America is not like that, North and South both. But if you see the current population today, North America, it doesn't have its indigenous civilization. They were wiped out because they were less in number. So if you have agriculture, you have the same latitude, you can grow food more faster and you can grow faster. So then you have less resources, so you start attacking others around you. So in all the game of population, what has happened is most of the population today is Eurasia. It's not North America, South Africa, or now South America. All of them have been either wiped out or they exist in very small tribal communities. So if humans are capable of doing this to ourselves, just because we are unconscious of what happens. The effect we have had on animals and species is still it's underestimated how much we have caused the loss of these species. We wipe out hundreds of species even today, even though we have become very cautious about not endangering species anymore. And all of this has an effect because if you see the example of a simple predator like wolves, when wolves disappeared from Yellowstone Park in 1926, the whole ecosystem went haywire. The plants, the fruits that used to go there, the species they also got endangered. And then wolves were reintroduced in the species, and what happened was both the plant life and animal life improved. Even rivers changed their courses. They became more synchronous with the ecosystem that was newly developed. That's the story of what humans do and what nature can do on us. Now, we in every Toastmasters meetings we follow 3 rules. First is please do not talk about sex, politics, or religion in a way that can hurt the sentiments of others. Second, please put your phones on silent mode. And third, please don't enter or exit the hallway while there is a speaker on stage. You can do so when during the applause section when people are clapping. The next speaker I'd like to invite on stage is a mother, and as her contribution to involvement today is small, which I see as significant itself. We are contributing as a family. She makes sure that her daughter learns the right practices. There are no littering or plastics with their wastage. And this is a new one that I've heard. Instead of plastic dolls, we use wooden dolls. So that is also nature friendly. Please welcome on stage our good and gracious Toastmaster Harshita.
It was the year 2022, and we were thrilled. Me, my husband, and my daughter decided to go for a holiday in Goa. We were so excited to go to Goa because this was the time COVID was done. This was the time that we took this holiday, we took off those masks and threw it out. We were so happy. The smallest act of removing that mask, throwing it away, and taking this holiday. A holiday that we could breathe fresh air without restricted of mask. So we took an open jeep and we drove. My husband played Kaluna Mo in loud. My daughter stuck her head out and there was cool wind flying through her hair. And I just was gazing at the surroundings, the blue sky, the blue waters, the green environment. It was so beautiful. Then we reached the beach. And like any 2-year-old, she ran to the water and she ran towards the crashing waves and then she would run back and she would jump on those puddles. It was simple things, but it was amazing. And at the nights, we would sleep in the beach and look up at the stars and count those beautiful stars and share stories. This is one of my best holidays. I love it. I love it because this is something that I did as a child too. These are the memories that I have with my parents of going to these places and enjoying all these things. I love it and I wish that my daughter gets to experience this and she has these holidays with her family and her children. But I suddenly realized this is not true. And I get a vision of something that is very different. I have this vision as clear to me as the blue skies that I saw in Goa. A vision of a 2050. My daughter gets out of the house and there's smog all around her. Quickly, she pulls out a mask and puts it on her face. Quickly, she drags her daughter out, puts on a mask for her. Her daughter is coughing because her cough is aggravated because of this smog and the pollution around her. They get into a self-driving car. I'm hoping we get there by 2050. They get into a self-driving, air-conditioned car and she looks out at nothing because you can't see much. And she wonders, when is the temperature going to drop from 45 degrees? They go to that beach and she's so cautious not to let her daughter touch the water because you can see oil, you can see red streaks on the water, telltale signs of pollution, of industrial waste. She doesn't also let her go close by because the water level is quite high. And she wonders, by the time her daughter grows up, how much more of the earth is going to be submerged in the ocean. Is this the life that we want to leave for our children? Good evening, everyone. Is this really the life that we want to leave for our children and our grandchildren? Do they not deserve a chance to enjoy the water, the air, the wind, the way we get to enjoy and live that kind of life? And if that's true, then we need to worry about critical things like deforestation, loss of biodiversity, climate change, and pollution. These are things that don't seem to affect us today, but surely will create an impact in the future. So when we think about these things, we say, how do we solve climate change? This is beyond us. We can't do anything about it. We have a Paris climate deal. The governments are working on it. There are leaders who are driving this cause. But there are things we can do. 1 million of us can do small lifestyle changes to create big transformation. There are so many simple things that we can do. Firstly, we can start by being aware. Let's be educated and let's educate people around us about how our practices, about how the way we litter, how we treat the environment around us, how it creates a difference everywhere. Secondly, let's use renewable sources of energy. Let's walk more when there's an opportunity. Let's try going on the metro when there's a chance. Let's carpool. Let's use solar power energy, let's use wind energy, and let's reduce using all these harmful fuel sources. And finally, there's the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. So today with fast fashion and trends, we tend to buy more and think less. There's always a discount, there's always an offer, and there's always more you can buy. But what I would encourage all of you is to buy more quality things that last longer, therefore are more sustainable and more valued for you than things that are in fad and go out soon. Let's buy, for example, wooden toys or things which have meaning, like our Chanapatna toys, which have meaning, which have character, than those Chinese plastic toys. These are small things that we can do in our everyday life and we can create a lasting change and we can give our children the world that we have today. Only thing I would like to leave you with today is let's leave this world better than how we found it. Let's leave this world better than how we found it. Let's leave this world better than how we found it. With that message, I would like to open today's session. As we open meeting number 1201, I see a couple of new faces with us. Firstly, I would like to welcome our newest member, Toastmaster Harshita. I love your name, Toastmaster Harshita. Would you like to say a quick few words about yourself?
Ashita, I finished my second year this year, and then I'm waiting for CJ from
Wonderful. Welcome to Toastmasters. So, would you like to introduce yourself? So, don't worry, she's in safe hands. We are all friends. Welcome. Would you like to introduce?
I'm Aziz Shetty. I'm from Bangalore,
Okay.
and I work in IT for the app. I've been working for like 3 years, and I'm in Bangalore.
Okay. Just something I need to warn you is that since I'm a bunt, I'll just start talking to you Telugu all the time. So don't be alarmed. But welcome to today's. Any clue? I think that's it. Oh, sorry. Please.
I think you remember me. It's not my first visit. I've already visited twice here with 2 new guests last time. So after a long time, I got some time to come. I would like to join in this club actually. So that's why I'm coming.
And how many hear about that?
They are searching.
Oh. Okay. I hope you enjoy today's meeting. So today's meeting, we have our Theo Modi. There's a couple of things you need to know about him. And let's see if you can guess if you haven't seen the agenda. He's super funny. He convinced his wife, who was his mentee in Toastmasters, to marry him. So he has great communication skills. And he's one of our very senior Toastmasters. He's a part of a couple of another Toastmaster club. Very senior member who we've got to learn so much from and really understand how Toastmasters works. He has done not much of pollution. He tries to reduce the consumption of plastic. And he has a long blank list of things that he wants to add. I hope he's inspired by today's meeting and has more things added to it. I'm very excited to welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, just imagine the situation where please give out free Wi-Fi signals. Beautiful, no? Whenever you want, just go standing show, it's free, no password, no nothing. Start using your Instagram, start posting on Facebook, hashtag. It's all showing. So, all these important things, right? We have to put on Facebook, we have to put our selfies, we have to put so many things. The most important things in life. But we forget one thing, the most important thing, the oxygen. That's the only thing that please give out, right? Which we don't think of anytime. So I think it's time we start making our priorities right. And what is more important than Facebook and Instagram? Welcome to meeting number 1201. And for the benefit of the guest, a typical Toastmasters meeting has 3 parts. We have a speech session, where members come up and deliver speeches based on particular guidelines. And they have prepared on over time and they come and deliver. The second part is a table topic session, or what we call as an impromptu speaking session, where a member comes and gives topics to other members and we have to speak on it for 1 or 2 minutes. And the third part is the general evaluation session, something like a feedback, where we get feedback on how you did your speeches, your topics, and how you, all the role players did their roles. So before we start the meeting, I'd like to introduce to you the general evaluator. The general evaluator today is a fairly new member of our club. He's, according to his introduction, he's a semi-retired stock trader, and he's the one who believes that in spite of so many droughts that's happening in the world today, the world has turned into a cutting-edge 21st century. And his hobby is to read about droughts and things happening in the world today. Please help me introduce Mr. Sunny as the general manager.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tarun. As Tarun rightly said, my role today is to observe the meeting and try to identify areas of improvement, try to identify what was good about the meeting, what was good about the speeches, and what were the areas of improvement. And not just about the speeches, but as an evaluator, we try to identify good parts to everything. So very quickly, if you don't mind, Toastmaster, when we think of the word droughts, I thought about it. I said it's got a lot of negative connotations to it. Drought, it's a catastrophe, natural disaster. What could possibly be good about droughts? It turns out that because of droughts, you have dry areas. And when you have dry areas, all your natural minerals and resources can only be mined from dry areas. All of the steel, cement, oil, 75% of the world's oil, no less than 75% is in deserts, which is completely dry. Steel, mined from dry areas. Cement, sand, once again, dry areas. So if we had no droughts and no dry areas, and everything is all lush greenery, then we would not have the kind of situation that we have today. So although droughts have a negative connotation to it, there is good in droughts as well. So like that, we're going to try and identify good parts to every single situation about the meeting today. And to help me perform my role very effectively, I have a number of assistants in our team today that will help us analyze the speeches and identify those areas of improvements. And I'd like to invite my first team member on the stage, our timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Aranya. Could you please explain your role? From there, yes.
Even the biggest and the most precious statements are all within a frame. And that's the beauty of it, the fact that they are contained and yet a master. In a platform like Toastmasters, the ability to stick to a given time frame is where we practice our mastery and explore it time and time again. As a timer, I'll be helping and working in terms of time management for all the speakers today. The responsibility is to check the time of the prepared speakers or speaker, table topic, also the evaluators. To start with, in terms of prepared speeches, we have an icebreaker today, which is the first speech a person will be presenting here. So icebreakers are to be timed between 4 to 6 minutes, and I'll be guiding them at the 4th minute with the green card, and at the 5th minute with the yellow card, and I'll be holding up the red card from the 6th minute to indicate that the time is up. For the other two speeches, it's 5 to 7 minutes, so the same thing. At the 5th minute, I'll hold up the green. At the 6th, I'll hold up the yellow, and at the 7th minute, I'll continue to hold the red. For the table topics, the time frame is 1 to 2 minutes. So we start with the first minute, and start with the green card. At the minute and a half sign, yellow, and at the second minute, it's the red. And lastly, for the general evaluation or for individual evaluations, for every speaker, there will be an individual evaluator. That's 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll hold up the green card at the second and a half, I'll hold up the yellow, and at the 3rd minute, I'll continue to hold the red card until we finish.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aranya, for explaining your role so well and also giving us a very good analogy of fitting our masterpieces within that frame. Thank you. We also have today's our counter, a very new member of our club as well. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Shruti, but please be at your place and explain your role for today.
Good evening, Toastmasters and your guests. Welcome to the club. So, I have taken the role of our counter. The purpose of our counter is to note down words and sounds which are used as crutch or pause filler by any of the speakers who are participating. So, during the meeting, I will be listening to overused words like well, but, so, you know. I will also listen to filler sounds like and I will also note down the words like which speaker repeats. Like I, this means, you know, that means. So, all the best for all the speakers.
Thank you, Shruti. And I'm very happy to announce that our grammarian for today's meeting is our newest member, along with Akshita, our newest member. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Panini to introduce yourself and tell us about your role today. Yeah.
Ramon, developer, masters, yes. I have a tough job today because I have to work. I don't know how many people know that Carnegie is the person who compiles Sanskrit grammar. As Carnegie means Carnegie compiles Sanskrit grammar. So I have to learn that name that I have a grammarian. So as a grammarian, I will be basically looking, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to how you speak in terms of language, how correct it is, force to have, look for incomplete sentences, mispronunciation, and grammatical errors. Now, incomplete sentences are basically, to give an example, non-sequiturs or I would say incomplete is more grammatical error. Non-sequiturs are basically uh, a sentence in which you build the logic but don't complete it properly. So you say the tree stop or everything comes in, and then you say please wait. So it is not following the logic. Or something called malapropism, in which you say a word, you intend to say a word, but you say something else. So you say something like the my watchman comprehended that it is not comprehended, it's apprehended. So you are twisting it. So those kind of things. With that, it's also my responsibility to use the word of the day, and that is God. So God basically is a period of prolonged practice, and I'm sure you are it. And a typical word usage would be that river ran dry because of the God. Now, there is a figurative meaning also, in which there is a prolonged gap for something to be done. For example, the God asks these experiencing that also the problem. And I would encourage everyone to use this. So I hope there is no God of using the word. Use that and do job. With that,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Panini, for explaining your role so comprehensively and also telling us ways to challenge ourselves towards using the word of the day, which is drawn. So I highly encourage everyone to try and fix or include or weave the word of the day into your speeches. And my last role taker, my last teammate today from the tag team is Toastmaster Chandan. A special word about Chandan in a short while. But first, Chandan, please tell us about your role today.
Good evening, Toastmaster and guests. I'll be the listener for the day. So, listening is as important as speaking. Today, I'll be noting down important and useful and well-used quotes, and I'll be back at the end of the meeting with a short quiz to actually see who were actually listening.
Thank you very much. Now, we know Chandan is the best person to do the listener role today. You know why? Because last week at the recent Toastmasters coronation, I am proud to announce that Sunshine Toastmasters Club won the second Best Newsletter Award. That's our club. And Chandan almost single-handedly put that newsletter together. That newsletter, if you've not seen it, that newsletter is on the group, and it contains the highlights of the last 6 months or so of Sunshine Toastmasters Club. So you know that Chandan's been listening very closely, and he's going to be listening closely in this meeting as well. So that's it from me. I shall see you at the end of the meeting with my report and my suggestions, and of course my team suggestions as well. We look forward to that session. Thank you very much, and back to the CMO.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Well, let's start with the speech session. And the first speaker is coming up to deliver an icebreaker. But before I introduce the speaker, I'll introduce the evaluator. The evaluator for the speaker is a person who believes that conserving nature and taking care of the earth is the need of the hour for the betterment of the earth. Please welcome Varnika for the icebreaker evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmasters. Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow guests. The speaker is attempting L1P1. It's the icebreaker. So the purpose of the speech is to break the ice and introduce themselves to the audience. and understand the basic structure of the speech. The timer, please note the time is 4 to 6 minutes. All the best to the speaker, and back to